been some questions about troops and the importance of leveling them up to the highest tier that you have. So if you were to do an attack on somebody and they have stronger troops than you, you are going to lose a lot of troops. It's going to kill off a lot of your troops and not just hurt. You want the higher tiered troops because they're less likely to die in a battle. And that doesn't mean they won't be injured, but they're less likely to die, which means you're less likely to lose troops in a battle. So you can see here, I've got a bunch of different troops. When you do intel, you will get a lot of the lower tiered troops. I would recommend that you save those to level them up until you do events like this one for Seasons Champ, where today is Trey. Okay, so you see you get points for training troops. When you train troops, this is also if you're upgrading troops. Okay, so you want to train. You want to take them and you want to upgrade them. So you can see that I trained 442 within 5 hours. I'm going to go ahead and speed that up because I'm going to go ahead and use my troop training speed ups. I'm going to do that again, and you see I can do 620. The other nice thing about upgrading troops is you can upgrade a lot more than you can train usually. You can also use the troop training capacity. You can increase this so that you can train and upgrade more at a time. They do take longer, however, but you can do them all at once instead of having to do them in batches. So see how I can do 5,763 troops from 7 to 8, tier 7 to tier 8. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Speed up. Speed up. And you always want to train more infantry troops than any others. I mean, they're all good to have pretty evenly, but infantry really you should have the most of, because while your cavalry and your archers are going to be responsible for a lot of the damage that you do in like rallies and attacks, you need infantry to protect the cavalry and to protect the archers. So I always try to have a lot more infantry troops than I have of the others. Usually by maybe a full march worth. And then I also train a lot of archers, because when you do things like bear trap is purely offensive. You don't need any defensive troops or heroes really. So I also like to have a lot of archers for that. Okay. Also, when you are upgrading troops, and this is something I should have mentioned earlier, when you are upgrading your troops, you don't want to upgrade all 3 types of troops at a time. I usually do a 1-2 ratio, so I will upgrade 1 set of troops and I will train 2 new troops, because if you're just upgrading all your troops, you're not gaining any additional troops. You're just upgrading your lower tier to a higher tier. You have the same equal number of troops. So it's a good idea to only upgrade 1 at a time, so that you're still training 2 new squads of troops. So you'll continue to increase the number of troops you have overall. The other thing is, when you are playing this game, it is not a good idea to just go and attack any and every city that you can, because you're going to lose troops or injure them, and it will take you longer to get 6 full marches. So you really want to avoid doing it unless it's retaliatory. That's usually how I play. I don't really attack people unless they attack me first, or unless it's the kill event, and I can talk about that in another video. So